he gets a big win against Victor Altamirano. And AJ, this did not play out the way that I expected. Tim Elliott did what Tim Elliott always does. Like, this was a classic grinding Tim Elliott performance. But he came in, and this is why you can't take too much out of the pre-fight pressers, because he came in kind of like, I'm gonna be stunting on him, flashy, awkward, throwing all types of everything in the kitchen sink, and then came straight in, blast double. I'm just gonna hold you down and throw a little ground and pound. It was a staple. It was a great path to victory. Were you surprised that he was this effective with all of the things going on in life, as we alluded to?
Not so much, Derek. I felt like this was a fallback for Tim Elliott to his classic style. And he himself was not impressed with his performance at the end of the fight. But to me, this was one of those fights that he just needed to win. He needed a dub in his life, nonetheless in his actual life, but his career as well. And it seemed to me that this was one of the ones where, like, I gotta fight a safe fight and I gotta get this dub. I got people to pay. I got bills. I just moved to Texas. This is a whole, not a star-studded performance, but a more of a safe win, which at the end of the day, I mean, when you need a win, you need a win. And Tim Elliott went out there and got it. So I wouldn't say this was one of the ones where I was shocking and like, oh man, this was a crazy performance, or like, what was Tim Elliott doing? This just seemed not safe, because fighting is never safe, but a safer approach to the tactician that Tim Elliott was trying to be.
I think the other thing that plays into that is that when he started feeling some of the stand-up from Altamirano, he said, I need to get this fight down. I can't just keep this standing. He was getting pieced up on the feet, bro, and that was the tough part about the fight, is that at the end of the day, I mean, significant strikes is going to be favored in, 28-19, which doesn't really tell the story of the fight, right? Because insignificant strikes, total strikes, 153 for Elliott, 102 for Altamirano. So they're clearly not counting a lot of the damage that took place there, but a lot of it was little pitter-patter, ground and pound shots by both guys. I'll just tell you this much, man. I'm super impressed for Tim Elliott being able to get a classic Tim Elliott win right here, but I was also super disappointed because Altamirano, even though he held his own and he had some good moments on the feet, I just felt like this dude could not stop a takedown to save his life. You know what I mean? Like, Tim Elliott at will would just grab onto his thigh and then he would just kind of like crumble and fall over, and then he would get on top position and have to fight the fight off of his back. I felt like this was more of a missed opportunity for Altamirano than it was a real, just like sledgehammer, I'm doing what I want to you, Tim Elliott win. Either way, a win is a win is a win. Where does this go for the path of both of these fighters? Because Tim Elliott, at this point, you have nowhere to go but up. We just talked about the killer's row that is the flyweight division right now. What do they give next to the awkward Tim Elliott?
I'm actually curious if they do give him someone above him, Derek, or if he's going to fight another guy coming up. I feel like that's more in line for Tim Elliott, is to be the one fighting these guys coming up, unless, he gets a great fight against one of the top 10, one of the top 5. I don't really see that happening, though, Derek. Do you?
I lean towards kind of where you're going with this, and I think they're going to feed him all of the young, hungry killers, the Tagir Ulanbekovs, the Muhammad Mukaevs, those types of guys. I mean, look at Victor Altamirano. I don't remember if this was a short notice replacement fight or if they just like literally lined him up with this guy. But either way, shoot, man, we'll see what happened. What's the verdict on
that? Short notice.
Who was the original opponent?
Alan Nascimento.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he did say, he was all like, Nascimento is going to be a much harder. He did kind of talk a little bit of mess on Altamirano, like, oh, this would be an easy fight and all that. Yeah, man. So yeah, give him another good grappler coming up. Nascimento, that would have been a fantastic fight. But either way, last thing here, man, we were kind of ridiculing Tim Elliott at minus 125 with the decision prop, saying that odds makers kind of got this thing completely twisted. He ran away with that decision. We look dumb in revisionist history right here. So how were we so off the mark? I felt that Altamirano on the stand-up could do exactly what he did. I just didn't anticipate him getting taken down at will, like it was nobody's business. What did you think?
I think we missed the mark, Derek, because we were expecting that new style of Tim Elliott that he was coming in, throwing strikes, especially in his last matchup, where he might have shot 1 or 2 takedowns, but it was more of an exchange on the feet, the awkward style, the moving, the bobbing, the talking shit, being flashy. I think we were expecting that. Nonetheless, this boy just wanted to win. He wanted a payday. And that's kind of where that decision, maybe that's what the odd makers were seeing, that he just needed this one to get it. Maybe that's where it was. But I was still expecting that flashiness, that awkwardness from Tim Elliott. And obviously not a classic flashy striker like an Alex Caceres, but a different kind of awkward style. And that, we didn't get much of that. We got the I need the win, if you will.
Well, fair play to Tim Elliott. A win is a win is a win, and he got a win on the board right there, baby.